So I just watched a video from what is this guy's name? Grady Smith. And I don't know Grady Smith. I have followed him on Twitter, and maybe I've followed him for a really long time on Twitter. I'm not really sure. I can't figure it out. I can't figure out the first time I actually found Grady and thought, okay, I'm going to follow this guy or something. I have no idea what he said. And because I've been in Florida for such a long time, I really have no idea what's going on in the music industry per se. But I just watched a video of this guy, Grady Smith, and it was great. I mean, if Nashville Hype was all about music, quote unquote, today, country music today, this is probably the kind of video that I would release because he's talking about these snap tracks. I have no idea who these artists are that are in his video. That may sound like I'm lying, but I have not paid attention. I have not cared. There's a brown what is this guy's name? I don't know what this guy's name is. I want to say Zach Brown, but I know that's not right. There's a Kane Brown. I have heard of him, and I heard one of his songs just the other day, and it was the reason I came across it was because he was on the Ellen show. Does that sound right? I think it was the Ellen show. Um, it was terrible. The worst crap of all time. I mean, if this is passing as country music today, and I'm not a fan of Marshmello, but Marshmello, dude, you make like $40 million a year. I can't figure out why in the world will you team up with this clown. It makes no sense to me. I have heard of Kane Brown even before that, but that was attorney and business stuff. Like I know the attorney and some people working, and this is not a video that's going to make some people that I know, that I personally know and have known for a long time. It's not going to make them happy. Because they represent this clown. But it's terrible stuff. Anyway, back to Grady Smith. Grady Smith here, he put out this video, and it is smart, intelligent, funny, brilliant. It's got everything that you could even imagine. And he just tells it like it is. And one of the things that, even though I've not paid attention and not listened to country radio in a long time, one of the things I know for a fact is women in country continue to get the short shaft. And I don't mean that in any way. Don't get me wrong. They keep getting ripped off. Let's put it that way. And, I mean, they always have in some way, but here lately, like the Belmont grads have really taken it to them. Nobody's going to like this video now because I just mentioned part of the problem. Belmont. Look, back in the day, I've dealt with a lot of people in my life, but the Belmont crowd, like yeah, I even said before I went back to Florida. Even on the blog Nashville Hype, I was complaining about the fact that these people from Belmont that are graduating with a degree, they don't have any ears. You're literally hiring your way into obstinance at this point. The record labels, the management companies, the publishing companies, the business end. Now, Grady over here, who I really like this video. I thought it was a really good video. He's based, I would think, on the consumer crowd. I've engaged with him in Twitter one time and one time only. Um, but I've never really watched his videos, and I don't really know who he is per se. I would think he's on the side of the non-business, and Nashville Hype was always on the side of business. That's where I resided, Nashville Hype. But the business side is like, what is wrong with you people? I can't figure out how you would subjugate yourself to Belmont grads, I can't say it any other way, to Belmont graduates who clearly have no idea what quote unquote country music is. Okay, I like all the rap artists. I like all the rock artists. I like all the Christian artists. And I like most of the country artists. Kane Brown might be an exception. I don't know. I don't know any of his other songs. I have no idea. He's like a baritone guy. And in country music, there's always like a baritone guy that comes out every 5 or so years and then they just disappear. And at this point, maybe, coming from Paul, Nashville Hype, maybe this guy disappears too. We could only hope. I mean, I don't know. It was the marshmallow thing was terrible. I saw it. It was on the show Ellen. I don't know. It's just, what are we doing here? And I say we, I don't mean myself. I've been out. I've been gone. I've been back in Florida for a long time. And this is not really just a complaint video. I mean, this is kind of one of those things I know you're not going to like. You're not going to like to hear. It's a little bit of praise for Grady Smith because I think in this particular video, and I'm going to watch more videos of him, I think he actually did a really good job with his video. This snap stuff, I could be snapping this the whole entire time. And by the way, back in the day when I was working and writing with Grammy winners and Dove Award winners and guys from the Songwriter Hall of Fame, I mean, I've written songs with a lot of people. I have these tracks or songs, I have written these songs a decade or more before they became popular. I have no idea what happened to them. Like I can't find my notebooks. I can't find the record, and I don't even care to. Can I be honest about it? Like, I think they're good songs. They'll probably be hit songs today. I mean, based on the crap that this guy pointed out that I've never even heard, like, everything that I wrote in the past is probably like, would be like a top 10 song today. I don't know. But, it's terrible. And the fact of the matter is at the end of the day, we need more country music, first of all. Second of all, female representation is always nice. I don't understand how in the world it could be that headline that he had in his video from like 2018, not even a year ago. The first time in that the top 20 was not, there was no women represented in the top 20. I don't even understand that. That makes no sense because a lot of times women are the conscience of country music. I don't even get it. I have no idea. And so it was fascinating. It was pretty interesting to watch this video because, I'm not really clued in right now. I'm going to get up to speed, and I'm going to get up to speed really fast. And when I do get up to speed, wait for some commentary, okay? Like, wait for what I have to say, because nobody's going to like it. I've already pissed off, 90% of Nashville. I was known for that before. And I'm not too shy about saying that, nothing has changed, except for this fact. Yeah, I tend to go too hard on some people. And I don't mean to do it, and I think about it after the fact, and I think, man, I shouldn't have done that. And there's 3 people that come to mind that I've been hard on in my life, in my career. One is John Rich. Big Kitty gave me 10 grand for my charity, and I thought he was an absolute saint. I mean, Big Kenny was fantastic, but John and I never really got along because of somebody that I worked with, and she was on a TV show, and he was on a TV show together, and those two together, and at the time, this terrible artist Jewel. God, how in the world? See, that right there is the industry. That'll tell you everything you really need to know about the music industry. Jewel. Fuck. I'm going to have to edit that out. She's terrible. She always has been. She's never been good. And yet here she is picking artists among a bunch of other artists that are trying to make it. I don't even get it. Anyway. So, John Rich, I'm kind of sorry for the fact that I've gone after him a few times, more than a few times. And I'll say that right now, if everything that this if everything that Grady says is true, and it seems to be. I mean, Grady seems very legitimate. We need John Rich back. Nashville needs John Rich stat. So anybody that knows John Rich, call that guy and get him back in Nashville and making music again, because for whatever feelings I had towards John for artists in the past that I've worked with and things that I've done and whatever, and things that I've written about when it comes to John, the fact of the matter is the guy is brilliant when it comes to producing country music. And not only country music, but popular country music. I don't know what happened. I've been gone. I've been away for however long, years now. And I have no idea. So maybe that's something I'm just going to have to read about or find out about or something. If you know, leave it in the comments. I would love to know what happened to John Rich, because I have no idea. But he was a great guy. The second person that I really feel bad about, having been gone for so long or whatever, Troy Gentry. He's since passed away, and I am sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that he did pass away. I really went after him for the bear thing. The bear thing, I don't know. It was terrible, and Nashville Hype, me, I went after him pretty hard. And I was pretty relentless, and I was pretty unforgiving. Let's be honest. I mean, for anybody in town that knew me at the time and what I was talking about, or who I was, what I was trying to do, they know I was pretty relentless on him. And you never want to see somebody pass away, and so I feel bad about that. His music was always great. Like, the songs that those guys produced, and the fact that they made it on the Grand Ole Opry. And right now, if you've been reading my Twitter, Nashville Hype, or twitter.com/Nashville Hype, I've been going after the Opry, the Grand Ole Opry, for weeks now. And even back in the day when I was writing the blog on a religious basis, I went after the Opry. Because I think it's ridiculous that Gwyneth Paltrow gets to come to the Opry and sing and be taken like she's serious or something as a country music artist when she's there to promote a movie. And I'm doing everything I can to not curse right now in these videos because this video because it just ticks me off. But I've been going after the Opry, and here lately they've just, I don't know. They do some really good stuff still. Don't get me wrong. But I was really happy that Troy was part of the Opry, and I know to the Opry family that was a really big loss, and so I feel bad about that. And the third person that I feel bad about is Vince Gill. And this is talking a little bit personal, but mostly music in a sense. Vince Gill is country music. His guitar playing is sweet. If you really listen to the guy play guitar, he will make you cry. He will make you cry. But because he's just so good, and he's been around for a very long time. He's got a great viral story that's going around right now where he was the opening band for Kiss, and he was playing bluegrass. And it's hilarious the way he tells it. It's really funny. But I went after him because I thought, unfairly treated a friend of mine very poorly at a charity event. And I'm sure he did. But I also am sure that I should not have been so harsh when I went after him like that. And so, mea culpa, mea culpa. I am sorry about that. That doesn't mean we need to be friends or I need to give him a call or whatever. It just means that hindsight is 2020, and maybe in 15 or 20 years, if this Kane Brown kid is around, um, and we can hope he's not. I don't. How in the world? Okay, so you've got this one guy. Um, yeah, I can't even think of his name. He doesn't even have an album out, or he's got an EP. He's got like five or six songs or something. I mean, his career is this big. It's like literally this size right here. Um, but every single he's released has gone to number one and stayed at number one. What is that guy's name? I can't think of his name. I have no idea who he is. He's whatever. Anyway, he's got like four or five number one singles. No album. Like maybe he's got one album. One. His career is this long, and now the Opry is like, "Hey man, we want you to be a member." So in some respects, and this guy that I'm talking about, he's at least country music or something. I don't know. He's not Kane Brown. Let's just put it that way. I haven't heard a snap track from him, and I can't even recall one of his songs right now. But whoever he is, he's like, he's Luke. Yeah, I thought about it. See, I knew I'd figure it out. This guy's name is Luke Combs. He's actually engaged to an old friend of mine. Weird, but I don't know. I've known that girl forever. The point being is now he's going to be, this guy Luke is going to be part of the Opry. Um, Kane Brown, to my knowledge, at this point, is not a part of the Opry or going to be invited to be an Opry member. So, in some respects, the Opry is doing something good, and by not inviting this other guy, Kane Brown, in. If Kane Brown is around in 15 years, as a artist, musician, or whatever it is, and maybe with Marshmello, this whole thing, he's going to transition himself right into Taylor Swift world and be like, I'm out of here. Except if he does that, then we still have to deal with him. And remember that time Kane Brown was a country artist? Yeah, it was about the same time that Gwyneth Paltrow was going to take over the world. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. The Luke Combs thing, I don't agree with. I just don't agree with that. How in the world can somebody have four or five songs and number one album, maybe have a career this big and be a member? At the same time, he seems like a nice enough guy. I don't know if anybody else is talking about this. Maybe Grady Smith is talking about it. I watched one video of this guy, Grady. So maybe other people are talking about it. But the point is of all of this is this. I wish Grady, if you're listening, Grady, like you had a great video about all of the snap tracks and everything else, and it was like this really long 10-minute commercial, and I waited the entire time for, at the end of the commercial, for you to give an alternative. Like, if you really like country music, if you like playing and picking and banjo and all of that, then what you need to do is tune into X. That never came. And it was pretty disappointing because I was all set up for it, man. That was like a really great 10-minute commercial that ended up not being a commercial. So you got to get better at that. On the flip side, Nashville Hype has never really been a commercial, and it's never been consumer facing. And I said facing, I mean facing. It's never been consumer facing. It's basically about the industry, what's going on in the industry, behind the scenes of the industry. If you know anything about Nashville Hype, you know it is industry focused. That being said, at the time that I left, or shortly after I left, or before I left rather, apparently a lot of people care about the industry, which is the record labels, management, publishing, and things of that nature. They also care about finding new artists. And as you know, Nashville Hype was really influential about finding new artists. Lady Antebellum, Reese Palmer, Jada Dreyer, Hot Shell Ray, Rachel Farley. Did I say that already? I don't know. There's a bunch of people, a bunch of artists. We had about 9 or 10 signed over the years, and did a lot of great work. And I say great work. I just listen to artists. Back to the thought of the Belmont people, you can't graduate people with ears. I've written songs with Grammy winners and Dove Award winners. I grew up in the music industry, man. Like, my whole life has been this. I just listened to artists that I liked, and I thought, you know what? They're really good, and other people in Nashville, non-consumer industry, should actually hear them or find out about them or know about them or something. And if I can help them in any way, then I was going to. And so, guess what it is? Nashville Hype. This is kind of a half a blog, half a vlog. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's going to be. But I made this video because I got some equipment and a video camera and whatever. And I just wanted to share with you 2 things. The Grady Smith guy, he's really good. If you're consumer facing and you've made it this far in the video, go check that guy out. Like, I mean, I might not agree with everything he says, but the one video that I did see, I thought he was spot on. I mean, like, how can you complain about that? I mean, good grief. If the point was to prove his point, he proved it. And the second thing is I might turn Nashville Hype into a show. I might turn it into a 1-hour show every week or every day or every other day or every other month. I'm not really sure. But the only way to know is to subscribe to the channel here, Nashville Hype, on YouTube. I might even turn it into a full-on, full-out, straight-up podcast, which I've been thinking about doing. I've been in touch with a few people, and I don't know. Maybe I will. But no matter what, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you do subscribe. I hope you do know that everything that I say on here, I am very sincere about. I apologize to the Kane Brown in advance. I hope you have a great career and a lovely life. I hope your life is fantastic. Man, talk about winning the lottery. To Marshmallow, I would like to say you're a cool dude. You make like $40 million a year. You don't need this Kane Brown thing. You really stick with EDM. You're going to go places. And to everybody else, thanks for watching. It's good to see you again. I'll talk to you soon. And it's not going to be blog. It's going to be vlog. And if it's not going to be vlog, it's going to be podcast. Okay? See you later.